Well, there you have it, folks. It is time once again to start the next episode of the Paranormal Portal. Hope everything is going wonderful in your world, whatever's going on in your world, and hope you guys are embarking on an incredible weekend. Happy Valentine's Day tomorrow, which I'll probably say it again then, but in case some of you aren't here tomorrow, well, you heard it now. Just know I always consider all of you my own personal Valentines. Love you, mean it. So we got a lot to get to tonight. It's also Happy Friday the 13th. Now, I know some people are always like, I don't know, creeped out by Friday the 13th. It's like a bad omen for many, they say. I, however, have generally had some awesome days on Friday the 13th. And notwithstanding the fact that historically for the show, it was a wonderful time for us to get together with a dear friend, Kev Baker, which I mentioned on the last show, because Kev and I both were on Truth Frequency Radio, the network. That's where I started. That's where he started. Before me, he was, I don't know when he started his show exactly, but he'd been at it for quite a while. And Kev was just an amazing guy. And every Friday the 13th, we would do crossover shows where I and Don, or I alone, would go over and join Kev and his crew. And we'd do Friday the 13th on Kev's show, Kev Baker's show. And that's where I met. Well, not where I met. That's not even true. That's where I really got to know Scotty. I'd known Scotty a little bit, but I'd already known tonight's special guest for a number of years prior to us doing these crossover shows, just because he was always hanging out on TFR in the chat room, and a wonderful friend and a co-host himself on Kev Baker's, what was it called? Freaky Friday the 13th. I think it's what he called those. And Freaky Friday was his show, but we did the crossover show was Freaky the Friday 13th. And so I would go on their show, and then all the guys would come over here on the portal, and we would do 5 hours of show together on those Friday the 13th. And they were a lot of fun. We had a great time. But unfortunately, our wonderful brother, Mr. Kev Baker's, passed away a few years back and left a big hole in our hearts. So we of honoring Kev and continuing our journey on to Friday 13th. So to Mr. Kev Baker, wherever you are up there in the starry sky, just know we love you, brother. And this show is always dedicated to you, but especially on Friday the 13th. And without further ado, let me welcome tonight's guest, Mr. Naysay himself. How you doing, brother?
Ladies and gentlemen,
What the
Paranormal Portal!
Woo! How you doing, man?
Oh, what? Okay, let me try. Let me try one more time. Hello, and welcome to Paranormal Portal with Naysay and Brent. Please enjoy the show, share it, retweet, do what you do best, and show your love, or else we'll take you outside and tickle you until you pee yourself. Enjoy the show.
Well, I'm sure HR is going to be flooded with a few complaints about that one. But hey, welcome to the show, brother.
Hello, my brother from the same mother earth.
Was that a pre-record, or did you just ad-lib that, didn't you?
Oh, I'm magic. No, prestidigitation. I'm not magic.
Prestidigitation. Well, that's okay. We have room for prestidigitations as well. But it's great to have you back, brother. And how's things been in your world?
Well, besides the fact that I'm slowly falling apart because I'm an old fart, then it is what it is, because tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so be still my heart, because the woman I'm not seeing is enjoying my company, apparently.
Oh, God bless you. Well, happy Valentine's Day to you both. I hope you guys have a wonderful time. Yeah.
Lupinelia?
Is that her name, Lupinelia?
No, Valentine's Day is from Lupinelia, from Remus and Romulus, the she-wolf twins.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Or if I might have known that. I don't think I knew that, though. But either way, happy Lupinelia.
Gotta select those virgins for the spring equinox ritual ceremony.
Jesus, dude. I'm going to be lucky to be monetized after this. We won't be selecting any versions on tonight's show, so rest assured, folks. If you are one, your chastity is safe. We have a lot to get to tonight, though. We're going to get to the news, and we're going to get to, we're going to get to an article from Listverse. We're going to get to what the hell is that, and we're going to get to the Cryptid Corner. And by God, that'll probably be the whole show. I mean, that's just literally how quick it goes. But it's great to have you on again, brother. I've missed you, and it's wonderful to hear your voice.
It is always a pleasure and an honor to bask in your illumination, because you are a delight in my darkness.
Well, amen. And likewise, you're a delight in my darkness as well. Let's get started then. I guess I don't think there's anything announcement-wise to make on the front end here, but I know we all got a hankering for some news. And
well, may I interrupt you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the interruption.
No, it's fine.
But there are many different venues to where you can hear Brent's wonderful voice with not just YouTube. Is that not correct?
It is. It is, in fact, correct. You can also hear my voice on the Paranormal Portal podcast, which is all available everywhere you can get podcasts. Just do a search for Paranormal Portal podcast. Just do Paranormal Portal, and you will find us on all of the podcasting platforms. So those are a very different show as well. If you're new to the show, this is a live stream show. It's more of a variety show dealing with lots of different aspects of the paranormal, but the podcast is very much interview-based or topic-based. And it's generally 45 minutes to an hour, and I cover different subjects on each show. A lot of times they are interview-based, where I'm interviewing experiencers or researchers or authors or personalities in the field. And sometimes I just do topic-related shows all by myself. So you'll find all of that out there. Thank you for the self-plug there, Naysay.
And you can find me on episode 1.
I don't know which episodes you're on. You're on several.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, when I've talked to Wes, he's like, oh, I was like, how do you know your catalog that well? I can't remember what I did last week mostly. So that's crazy. Elaine, what kind of dog do you got, Elaine? What kind of, is that your picture of your dog, as she calls her, the Bone Hoe? Elaine calls her dog Bone Hoe. So, Elaine, let me know, because it looks very much like my dog. I got a mini, what is it? Mini doodle, golden doodle, mini golden doodle. That's what it is. That's what I got. It's a golden retriever. Okay. Well, there you go. That's why it looks like my dog, except mine's smaller, I'm sure, by at least half as much again, if not more. But anyway, we got a lot of show to get to. Don't see you, friend. What? Didn't see you. Oh, Justin Goodrich didn't see Dog Digger. All right. Oh, Big D came in over on the Rumble. Barbara Mora is there as well. I haven't seen Car Juice yet, but Car Juice is in there too. Good to see you. Yeah, we got a full boat on Rumble. That's the usual crowd over there. And on YouTube, we got a bunch of you guys. Looks like there are 38 of you here so far. Hey, from Australia, down under. So let me ask you, Jasmine. I asked this of all the Australians. Is Foster's really Australian for beer? I'm just kidding. I know Foster's is not really highly regarded over there. I got a lot of buddies over in Oz, and I give them all shit about the Foster's beer. So,
well, you're going to trigger me when you bring up Australia, because I will not stand, because I'm in a wheelchair, for the systematic genocide of the duck-billed platypi, which is perpetrated by the koalas. The koala bears are trying to wipe out the duck-billed platypi, and I will not stand for it.
Wow. I have no idea. I thought, aren't platypuses are like venomous, though. They get that little spike in their foot that they can jam into things and kill them. But
yes, but they're the coolest creature. When God was done on the seventh day and partied, on the eighth day, an angel came and said, hey, we got a box of all these spare parts. What do we do with it? And he said, duck-billed platypi.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, Jasmine. Oh, okay. Jasmine? That's where I know your name from. Jasmine Winter Productions. Okay, so you do the production end of things with oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe how I just drop names. I swear to God, it's part of getting older. I think either that or it's some early onset Alzheimer's. I'm not sure what the hell's going, but I can just drop a name like forget it. I was thinking of Sarah Bignell, of course. It came to me finally, but yeah, thank you, Jasmine. She wrote it in the chat to help me out. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. Gotcha. Well, we'll have to talk. I'd love to be back on with Sarah. Just let me know or email me at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. Good to see all of you guys, though. We'll get to the show now. I had a friend with a golden retriever type dog. He was a chestnut color. His name was Capone. It reminded me of a thoroughbred racehorse. Yeah. Golden retrievers are beautiful. In fact, if well, anyway, that's not about this show. Let's get about this show. We got some news to do, folks. Are you ready for entertainment and information all wrapped into one fun-filled package called Da News? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Da News. Here we go.
All the news you love, from the wild to the weird to the fascinating or interesting, with your host Brent Thomas.
Yet. Do any of you recognize that voice that's used in the news intro from the unknown, created by the unknown himself? You have to let me know. Anybody recognize that voice? It's pretty funny. Anyway, let's get to Da News, ladies and gentlemen. I am your anchor here, Brent Thomas, and this is the Paranormal Portal, Da News. And we're going to get to stories that are not at all politically related, which is good because I think all of us have just about had all the politics we can handle for a few lifetimes. But anyway, we do utilize a lot of different websites on the news and on the rest of the show. So please support these sites. These sites are incredibly well done. They're the best out there that I've ever found. And I implore you guys, go visit them, give them your love, because it is important to direct on. Your traffic equals revenue for these sites. So go visit them, go peruse pages upon pages of incredible information. It's available for all of you guys out there. So check them out. And I know you love them because, you love the parts we do here. So anyway, we're going to get to the news stories. The first one up tonight has to do with the UFO phenomenon, which is kind of good because not all the news stories are paranormal related, but some of them are. I try to pick them out when I can, and this one definitely qualifies. So let's get to this, and this is the amazing site known as unexplained-mysteries.com. Here it is, the UFO phenomena. UFO disclosure advocate granted access to secretive U.S. bases. What? I didn't hear about this. Did you hear about this, Nacy?
Nope.
Exactly. I don't know. Somebody's granted access to secretive U.S. bases? Let's see what it says. President Trump has reportedly given permission for U.S. Congressman Eric Burleson to access the facilities. Well, there you go. I guess it's not just a lay person, so to speak. It's another politician. But anyway, Burleson, who's long called for more transparency and full disclosure of everything the government knows about UFOs and alien life, has revealed that he had requested to be given access to various facilities across the United States rumored to house evidence of captured alien technology. The White House has told the DoD to make it happen, he said. The extent to which they've been involved is literally just saying to the Department of Defense that we're backing his request. Do what you can to make it happen. A member of the Congressional Oversight Committee on UAPs, I really don't like that name. Burleson maintains that Trump has been fully briefed on the subject and knows all about the country's secretive UFO programs. Some of the bases thought to hold such evidence include Nevada Test and Training Range, home to Area 51, Naval Air Station Patuxent River in Maryland, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, and the Atlantic Undersea Testing and Evaluation Center, AUTEC, in the Bahamas. Ooh, I want to visit the Bahamas one. That's where I'm going to go. Burleson even claims that there's one facility that holds a UFO so large that it was necessary to build a special bunker around it to house and conceal it. He hopes to visit it now that he has been granted permission, but cannot disclose where it is. It's going to involve a lot to make that happen, but that may be the final destination, he said. Whether anything will come of his visits to these facilities, however, remains to be seen.
Taurus.
What is it? It says Taurus. Taurus, which is my zodiac sign, for whatever that's worth. But
it's also sacred geometry. The shape of a donut is a Taurus.
That's T. How do you spell that? That's
Taurus.
Yeah, so it's spelled, the ghost box said Taurus, as in the astrological, or the zodiac symbol. Taurus, yeah. But you're right.
It spells Taurus. What it says?
Yeah, it gives me a list of the names that it's speaking. So, yeah. So
toroidal fields, UFOs, aliens. Wow.
Maybe.
Anti-gravitic?
Maybe. I carry a Taurus, Flyer Tuck says. Well, we're kind of heavy usually, Tuck. I hope you're okay. Make sure to bend with the knees. Good to see you, though. Taurus. What do you think about this, Nacy? Do you think that there are indeed bases that are still housing this stuff? Or see, I'm thinking it's probably all been farmed out to black projects anyway. But what do you think?
Yeah, those subcontractors give them that plausible deniability.
Yeah.
But, I believe they're still functioning, especially if we're going to talk about Moon Base Alpha, or if they reactivated Mars, allegedly, Alternative 3. But I think it's about time. The Galactic Council, last word I got, the Galactic Council is still debating on whether or not we as silly Homo sapiens should be allowed to leave our planet flat? No, round. What?
What? Round? What? Yeah, who would have thunk it? But I think it's it's probably just more performance art when I'm reading this, because I don't think there's to anything anywhere on this base, and I don't think he has enough time to do it, because these bases are huge. There's probably rooms upon layers and rooms and underground, deep underground military bases, the DUMBs, that may or may not be connected to this, but I just don't think he's going to find anything. It's just too much theater for me, is what I'm thinking. What do you think, Naysay?
Well, in the assumption of it, my theory is that they're looking for an excuse to release the superior technology of Space Force. And we are going to be finding out that, a 45% plus of these, or what are they calling it now, phenomenons, aerial phenomenons.
UAPs, yeah.
Yeah. So I think they're going to, because William Cooper in his last days was talking about that he was believed that a major majority of all of the sightings he witnessed over there at Groom Lake was our technology. And then when you find out the incredible ability of drones,
yeah,
and it's like, oh, yeah, that's what he was looking at, was drones.
Yeah, I think that could very well be true. I just think these kind of moments are like, ooh, well, we're getting special access. We'll surely find out everything now, and I just don't think we will. I think it's going to be another exercise in futility, because even if there is stuff there, chances are he's never going to know that it's there unless they want him to, and they probably don't want him to. So, I don't know.
Well, that strangeness of him and his great uncle, MIT professor, who went in and
Trump
collected.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
John Trump.
Yep.
Was the one that went in there and collected all of the Tesla
files. Yep.
Stuff.
Yep.
And then he's like, "Oh, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Nothing interesting here."
That's funny that you brought that up, because I just was perusing the internet today, prepping for the show, and I came across that from the Y Files, and AJ Gentile covered it. He was on, I think he was on Tucker Carlson's show, and it was a clip I just stumbled onto online, but they had a discussion about it, and he was talking about 0-point energy and things like that Tesla was really heavily invested in and allegedly had blueprints and plans for, and so many other technologies that have been covered up and bought up, or people have disappeared once they developed them, because it would cut into the economic foundation of the country, like with oil and petroleum and stuff. So yeah, I there's so many layers of shenanigans that it's just crazy. But at any rate, I don't know. We'll see. I guess time will tell. Time will tell. But we got to get to more articles here. So let's get to that. Here comes the next one, folks. And this is from Space and Astronomy. And this one kind of harkens back to a fun movie that I think all of us know and love. And that's Armageddon. Remember that movie, Naysay?
Yes.
Yeah, Armageddon. Armageddon. Okay. Yeah, I do too. I love that movie. I thought it was really cool. Maybe a little far-fetched, but that's okay. But that kind of brings up the theme of today's second article from unexplained-mysteries.com. Is it really possible to deflect an asteroid using nuclear weapons? Probably. I don't know. Maybe. Let's see what it says. Scientists. How long is this one? No, it's good. Scientists have used a new computer simulation to find out if nuking an asteroid could actually save us from a catastrophe. Nuclear weapons have the potential to bring about the end of human civilization, but according to a new study, they also have the potential to save us from an apocalypse as well. Nice. In the movie Armageddon, Bruce Willis leads the ragtag crew into space to use a nuclear bomb to blow an incoming asteroid into two pieces, thus causing it to miss the Earth. While this exact method is unlikely to ever work in real life, I don't think you're going to probably land a shuttle with a drilling crew on an asteroid and nuke it in half after you've drilled to a core. But the idea of using nuclear explosion in it entirely seemingly does have merit. Using a new simulation, researchers at the University of Oxford have shown that asteroid material is far more resilient to extreme forces than previously realized, meaning that a nuclear explosion would be more likely to change the object's trajectory than to blow it into pieces. To simulate a nuclear explosion, the team used CERN's superproton synchrotron to fire high-energy protons at a fragment of the metal-rich iron-nickel Campo del Cielo meteorite. The material became stronger, exhibiting an increase in yield strength and displayed a self-stabilizing, damping behavior, said study co-author Melanie Bachman. If a killer asteroid was headed straight for the Earth, therefore nuclear weapons, rather than ending civilization, could actually save it. Well, there you go, Naysay. Turns out we were just building deterrence all this time.
Well, remember that old video game, Missile Command?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so there was a video that came out in 2008 or 2009 where allegedly it was taken from a cruise ship, and they saw a grid pattern of anomalies, and then from the heavens came another anomaly that all of a sudden blew up, and then this grid pattern dispersed. So I do believe that we have that technology where there is literally a group of pilots. Remember The Last Starfighter, another great movie? Where they're trained to combat this feasibility of a meteorite. Because who wants another meteorite to hit the planet, especially those big ones?
Yeah. I don't think.
Why blow up the planet? That's where I keep all my stuff.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah, it's I think it's a good call, but we could actually save the Earth with these nukes. So when everybody says just disarm. No, let's keep some. You just never know if we're going to need them. That's the thing. It's kind of like that extra hairbrush. You probably don't ever need it, but about the time you throw it's when you're going to need it. So just hang on to it. Just saying.
It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Yep. Truer words may never have been spoken. Absolutely. And the other mystery is like whenever you don't want something, you'll be stumbling all over it. But when you're looking for it, you'll never find it. Why is that? Anyway, that's my own personal musing. Let's get to the next one, shall we? We got another one here to close out the news with. This one is coming from Space and Astronomy. And, let's see what this is. How big is this one? It's really big. I'll read the first part of it, and then I'll put a link to it in the... I don't know, this is kind of look like it'd be a little boring, actually. Let me just see if I can farm up another one here. Let me just see. Oh, here we go. Let's go to this one. This one seems like it'd be more show specific. The other one had to do with a what is the purpose of NASA's proposed lunar space station? Well, I'm sure it's to circle the moon. Anyway, let's continue. Let's go to this one, also from unexplained-mysteries.com. Modern Mystery Files. Does the Bermuda Triangle mystery have a simple explanation? I personally don't think so, but let's see what happens here. An Australian scientist maintains that the Bermuda Triangle enigma may not be much of an enigma at all. There are few mysteries as enduring as the Bermuda Triangle, an expanse of ocean in the North Atlantic that spans the area between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Over the years, the region has become synonymous with the unexplained disappearances of ships and airplanes, often with no trace of them or their crews ever being found. According to Australian scientist Carl Kruszelnicki, Carl, however, there is no Bermuda Triangle mystery. The entire phenomena is simply a matter of probability. Oh, okay. In other words, the number of disappearance of ships and boats in the region is statistically a similarly traveled region of the ocean. It's an explation? It's an explation. What the hell is an explation? I think they meant explanation.
Explanation?
Yeah, but it's actually spelled EXPLATION. Explation. It's an explanation that has been echoed by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association. There's no evidence that the mysterious disappearances occur with any greater frequency in the Bermuda Triangle than in any other large, well-traveled area of the ocean, it wrote back in 2010. The U.S. Navy and U.S. Coast Guard contend that there are no supernatural explanations for disasters at sea. Their experience suggests that the combined forces of nature and human fallibility outdo even the most incredulous science fiction. So, could the Bermuda Triangle really be more a case of hype and superstition than genuine mystery? I don't know. You decide. It says, I really don't know. I mean, some of those disappearances are bizarre, and there's also like time or space anomalies people have run into out there. And I forget the guy's name that was a guest on my podcast, but very interesting guy. He's very well documented and been interviewed, but he experienced some of that when he was a pilot flying out there. And it looked like a tunnel of clouds with electrical charges all around it. And he went through it, and apparently it was like jumping space distances. Like suddenly he was way far ahead of where he should have been. And he's a pilot. So I don't know. Very weird stuff, whatever it is. He encountered it twice in both Florida and on his way to the Bermuda area from Florida. So very interesting guest, though. It's on the podcast. You can find it there somewhere. He wrote a book, and he's been on several documentaries about the Bermuda Triangle. So very interesting guy. Just can't remember his name. Terrible with names. But there you go. This is going to wrap up our journey into the news. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and found merit in it. Grandizer, best quote from a movie, U.S. President. Morgan Freeman, Deep Impact. That was another. What was the best quote? I'd missed that. Anyway, I didn't see it. Brent was the guy who said he got that from the movie The Final Countdown with Martin Sheen about World War II Pearl Harbor. I don't know what is this, Grandizer? I don't know what I'm saying in your dialogue here. I'm confused. I'm very confused, but that's nothing new. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a production of the Paranormal Portal News. Naysay, did you enjoy the news?
News. Yes, I did. The greatest quote that we shall witness is when the president comes on live and he goes, "Thank you very much. You're on your own. Good night."
All right. We'll keep that in mind. Hope that's never the case. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to the rest of the show.
When breaking news happens, Paranormal Portal is there.
It's not looking so good out here, Brent.
Award-winning and most trusted news.
Brent, the thief broke into the donut shop in the middle of the night. Be on the lookout. The man is in his late 60s, heavy set, and wearing some kind of hat.
First, live, local.
Is this a paranormal show? Why am I doing the weather?
This is Paranormal Portal News.
Well, how about that? It is the Paranormal Portal News, but it's now over. All right, we have a lot more to get to. There's a triangle down the ocean between mainland Australia and Tasmania. Jasmine is saying, oh. It's funny how many triangles there are. There's lots of them. I thought, wasn't there something with the 32nd parallel or something like that, Naysay? Does that ring any bells?
The 33rd, I think, has to do with the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer.
Okay, but I mean, talking about like anomalous areas where weird stuff happens, I think there's literally like a collection of quote unquote triangles circulating some longitudinal line around the globe.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Richard Hoagland talked about 19.5 all the time.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. I don't know. I think that stuff is interesting, but I love your new news opening, Barry says. Thank you, Barry. Appreciate it, brother. That was the last one was from Wes Germer, from the unknown. One of both wonderful submissions. So that's what we got, and we're going to go to now an article, if you will, dealing with some weirdness. This is from Listverse, and it is an article called 10 Crazy Encounters of UFOs, Speeding Trains, and the Railroads. I don't know what we're going to get here. This is just an odd headline that I pulled up, but I was like, this might be interesting. Might be good show stuff. This was written January 13th, 2022 from Listverse by a gentleman named Marcus Louth. And that's pretty cool. Marcus Louth. These articles have been incredible. I love Listverse. It's a great site. And I think this is a cool... I'm just looking at the top one, number 10. Okay, it looks like this is going to be an interesting article. These are things I haven't heard of before. All right, let's check it out, folks. Are you guys ready to dive into an article about UFOs, trains, and the railroads? What do you think, Nace? Are you ready?
All aboard!
And away we go. That's about the best intro I could hope for. Here we go. The trains. Here we go. The first article. Again, let me reframe this a little bit so it's more on the page and less off the page. There we go. Each article requires its own positioning. All right. 10 crazy encounters of UFOs, speeding trains, and the railroads. Let's get into this. All right. This is number 10. The 1702 incident. UFO drags train along the tracks in the Soviet Union. So that's a whole different kind of 0-point energy, isn't it? If a UFO is actually dragging a train around. Let's see what it says. Without a doubt, one of the most fascinating encounters involving a moving train occurred in the evening of February 17th. God, almost to the year. Or almost to the date. Since 1985. On the Petrozavodsk to, I don't know what the hell this is, section of the railway in Soviet Karelia, now the Republic of Karelia. A short time after setting off, the crew noticed a strange, ball-like object moving over the trees along the track. What's more, the object appeared to be following them. Suddenly, the glowing orb rushed toward the train, coming into within 100 feet of it, and then moved to a position in front of it, again at about 100 feet. The driver, Sergei Orlov, slammed on the brakes to turn off the engine. However, the train failed to slow down. In fact, it appeared to Orlov and the other driver on board that it was being dragged along the track. Ooh, that's a little forceful negotiation. They continued down the tracks, eventually coming up to Novaya Peske station. It seemed as if the object would smash right into the station house ahead. However, it moved from in front of the train at the very last second and circled around the building before moving back in front of it once more. It continued to drag the train before disappearing several minutes later. As soon as it vanished, the train began to slow down, eventually coming to a stop at the next station. When Orlov exited the cabin to see if there was any damage, though, a beam of light struck him from above. In fact, he would later claim the light pressed him against the train itself. He eventually struggled back into the cabin and remained there until the light vanished. The object would return a third time once the train had set out on its final part of the journey, and it once more dragged the train for some time before finally disappearing for good. Well, that's one way to save gas money. What do you think of that one, Nisei?
I wonder if Casey Jones was involved with that one.
I don't know. I have no idea. That's a valid question, though. Was Casey Jones?
Do you remember Casey Jones?
I remember.
Minnesota boy?
Well, I mean, I know the name. I didn't know he was a Minnesota boy. Did I?
Well, no, it was on Channel 2, Casey Jones with Captain Kangaroo.
I thought there was like a legendary railroad figure named Casey Jones, though. I do remember that, though. I do, but was that Captain Kangaroo out of Minnesota?
Oh, you're correct. It was, I'm totally gapping it now. Thank you, cannabis. Engineer Nick.
Okay.
Well, you got those nimble fingers, and we got those search engines right there in Ask Rock. Don't. Somebody in the chat will look it up already.
Not yet. I haven't seen anything yet. But anyway.
Me neither.
I see what you did there. Yeah. All right, here we go. Then there's number 9 on this list is UFO crashes into a train in Kentucky. Ooh, I never heard about that one. Did you? It's apparently from January 14th, 2002, they say. Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, let's see what it says. Although there's a debate as to the authenticity of the account, the account, an incident that unfolded near Paintsville. There's a town called Paintsville. What should we call it? I don't know. Paintsville. Okay. Kentucky in the early hours of January 14th, 2002. It wasn't merely a sighting of a strange unknown object. It would result in substantial damage to the freight train in question. As the train made its way along the tracks, the driver noticed a strange light in the distance, and it was followed by the malfunctioning of the train's electronics and the train slowing down. Well, at this point, the driver noticed that the lights were, in fact, silver disc-shaped objects. What's more, they appeared to be scanning the river below. The next thing he knew, the train made its way around a bend in the track, and one of these silver objects was heading straight for him. It would ultimately crash into the front carriage before rising into the air and ascending out of sight as if nothing had happened. The damage to the train, though, was substantial. What made the alleged incident even stranger was when they finally arrived in Paintsville, a mysterious team of engineers and workers were waiting for them, as was a gentleman named Ferguson, who interviewed the men for several hours, and he would eventually tell them the incident was a national security matter and requested that they keep the encounter to themselves. The damaged train cars were taken into the strange unit's custody. So they took all the evidence, and they say, kind of like some Men in Black stuff there, right?
Why do they always take the cool stuffs from us?
I don't know. Yeah, those would have been the cool toys. There's one account of a Minnesota sheriff or somewhere, and he was driving his patrol car, and still it's considered some of the best evidence of UFO ever gathered. And the guy was doing his patrol, and he came upon this bright light came down and shined on him and stuff, and then I think he kind of lost time. When he came to, there was like damage to his car, and looked like maybe like radiation burns to the vehicle, and the antenna was bent at a 90-degree angle. And this is back in maybe the 70s, but that car still exists in a museum, and they still don't have any explanation for what the hell happened there. But it was definitely apparently an encounter with a UFO. So that's weird all the same.
And isn't that 90-degree angle also called a right angle?
Unless you're wrong.
Or left behind.
It could be a left angle. Yeah, you never know. Never know. Let's go to the...
Can I interrupt again?
Yes, of course. You can interrupt all you want.
So I'm sorry for the interruption, but I like to do a somewhat of a promotional thing.
Okay.
And, there it goes. If anybody matches me what I just did, I will give them a Cannabis Resolution t-shirt. So just hit Brent up, send me your address, and I'll get that to you.
Cool. Okay. I guess I can't ask what you did.
Well, they'll see it in the chat.
In the chat? Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see. I don't see it in the chat. Where'd you do it on YouTube?
Oh, all right. Give me a few moments. It just said something in my ear.
Okay. Yeah. Because I don't keep your eye on the chat, folks. Naysay's going to do something in the chat. And is it the first responder you're giving something to?
No, anybody who matches it.
Anybody who matches it. Okay.
Yep. Tonight's show.
Gotcha. What's an AI voice? 420 Man from the West. What is that?
Algorithm intelligence.
No, I know what AI is. I just didn't. Actually, I didn't know that, but I know that now. Thank you. But I didn't. I thought it meant artificial intelligence. It's making my stream buffer. What's making your stream buffer? What are you guys talking about? It's Naysay is my guest tonight. He's an actual friend. He's lives in Minnesota. He is a proud member of the Anishinaabe tribe in Minnesota, and has been a longtime friend of mine for many years. So it's not an AI voice. I think they think some people think you're an AI voice. But
I just might be an AI voice.
You're not helping. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, his name is Naysay. Just so you know. If you came in late, you probably didn't know that, but yeah, it's not an AI voice. But I guess there is some buffering going on, huh? That's interesting. So I'll let you guys know that everything on my end looks excellent, but I am actually test driving a brand new a brand new fiber internet connection. I'm working with a second company to see if it's the last one was fine, but I was paying for a gig up and a gig down, and I wasn't getting that. I was getting more like 600 or 700 up and down, and that's not what I was paying for. So another company came up, so I'm test driving that. So if you are getting any lag and stuff, let me know. I'll keep checking, but it really looks like everything on my end is really solid. I'm looking at all the meters on YouTube into my broadcasting software, and everything shows that it's really ripping and going good on my end. So it might be YouTube, but please keep me posted if you would. Whoa. Something happened. Are you there? Naysay, are you there? Hello?
Hello?
Okay, you're there. Okay. So anyway, we'll just keep an eye on that. But yeah, you can see right
data processing.
Jesus Christ. This is up here is where I give the back end, folks. So that's right here, and you can see that it looks excellent. YouTube saying it's an excellent connection. So that's what we're looking at when I'm looking at the back end. Here we go. Let's go to number 8, the Monon Railroad Incident. Monon, she's a Hoosier line. Okay. One of the earliest recorded encounters involving a UFO and a speeding train unfolded at around 3 a.m. on October 3rd, 1958, on the Monon Railroad in Indiana. On its way to Indianapolis, the crew of Freight Train 91 would witness several strange objects flying over them. The train itself was carrying almost a half a mile of cars, with 2 of the 5-man crew being positioned at the back of the train. While the drivers in the front noticed that the lights at first, it was the 2 men in the back, Ed Robinson and Paul Sosby, who got the best look at the things when the UFOs circled around the train and then approached them from behind. Robinson would reach for his flashlight, and flash the light towards the objects in an attempt to communicate. This received no response. However, when he aimed the beam of the torch at the object, it moved purposely out of the way. This happened several times and seemingly caused the glowing objects to zip off and disappear into the distance. In total, the objects pursued the locomotive for over an hour. Oh, nice, Naysay. Thank you, Naysay. Hi, Miracles. Happy Friday the 13th. May you find giggles abundantly. No ectoplasm in your superstitions. Yeah, we don't like those. Thank you, Naysay. I appreciate it, brother. You don't need to pay to be here. It's you're already donating to the show just showing up. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Interesting, though, when they've shown the flashlights at the objects, it actually avoided them. Like, did it think that those were energy beams, maybe? Who knows? I don't know. Just a thought. Let's go to number 7 because we got to keep the ball moving. We are at 1977, Astoria C&O railroad sighting. On the evening of October 21st, 1977, Howard Albert was seated in the cabin of his train on a private line of the C&O distribution warehouse in Fostoria, Ohio. He was waiting for the train to be guided into the warehouse when he noticed what he thought was a shooting star fly overhead. However, when the star began to curve downward, he realized he saw something truly strange. The object descended to the ground and began to slowly approach the train. At a distance of around 200 feet, it suddenly stopped and hovering about 15 feet from the ground. He looked on in awe before reaching for the walkie-talkie he used to stay in contact with his conductor, Donald. He informed him to come up to the engine. We got a UFO here. Howard described the object as disc-shaped but similar to a birthday cake. It also had glowing banks of vertical tubes all around it, and it was rotating counterclockwise. He would estimate that it was around 50 feet high and at least 90 feet wide and was completely silent. After several moments, he decided to let the train's headlight glow brightly for several seconds to see if the object responded. To his amazement, it did, suddenly glowing brightly for the same amount of time. Well, at this point, Donald had arrived from the back of the train and also saw an object. Both men would later state that they now believed the craft was friendly. Both had a bizarre feeling of knowing not to approach it. After around 20 minutes, the object began to spin faster, eventually rising into the air and disappearing until it became nothing but a yellowish star. Aw, it became a star. It's kind of a beautiful story. The UFO that became a star. Sorry, I'm making it a little corny. I made it a little corny. It's good to see ya. It's not time to close the show yet, Grandizer. Naysayer, are you still with me?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, God bless you. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Do you have any feedback on that last story? Anything stick out?
Actually, it reminds me of my UFO encounter. You want me to share?
Please.
Real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to do this really quick because we're set on time. But one time in June 23rd, 1995, me and a friend of mine, 94, sorry, me and a friend of mine drove up to Canada. We went up to go see the witch tree in Grand Marais up in the North Shore. And we're like so close to the Canadian border. We're like, let's go and get a postcard or something. So we go up to Canada, and the main thoroughway or the highway was closed for construction. So it gave us a reroute down these old timber roads.
Oh, wow.
So we go to Thunder Bay, Canada. And then on the way back, we're going on the detour. All of a sudden, the whole forest illuminates. And I'm driving. This is back in the day when I was physically fit and everything. Mm-hmm. And so I'm leaning forward over the steering wheel, looking up the windshield. And all of a sudden, this orange orb is above us, super, well, it wasn't super high, but it was coming down slowly towards us. I proceeded to pull over to the side of the road, stick my head out the window, and I'm looking up. And my friend is with me, and she's watching it, and we're just amazed. And all of a sudden, I find myself taking the headlights and turning them off and on, and off and on. And all of a sudden, Nicole's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I want them to see us." And then she's like, "No." And then,
wow,
soon as...
Hold on a sec, because the ghost radar just said want.
Want? Ooh, nice.
You said you wanted them to see you, and it said want.
Way cool.
Yeah.
So then the minute that her fear entered me, because at first I wasn't scared, but the minute that I got fearful because of her fear, the thing stopped coming down, was stationary for an instant, and then took off so fast that it looked like vapor trails.
Wow.
And then it goes way up into the sky, and then from across the east comes another little sphere, and then they do a slight turn in tandem, and then they both blast off, drive back to the border. We get to the border, and she's like, should we tell them at the border? No. And I'm like, are you kidding? We just went into Canada for 2 hours, and what do you think they're going to think if we say, hey, by the way, did you see any UFOs or anything? But yeah, it was crazy because it was so bright that it was illuminating the forest. It was like starting to be like dusk.
Wow.
It was so bright.
That's intense. Very cool.
And it was an orange orb. It was huge. And like, what's his name? Carlos Diaz and his plasma ships.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Wow. That's a good one. What a great
You've heard that one before, haven't you?
I did. Yeah. It was coming back to me as you were saying it. Unfortunately, I've heard thousands of stories through the years, so it's like it's hard to put them all together from where I heard them. But once you started saying it, it's like, yeah, this sounds familiar. And then I could kind of track it. And then by the time you're done, I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that. So, yes, I did remember vaguely. All right, this one's number 6, black triangular object photographed in Plymouth, New Hampshire. Okay. Well, there's a video for a lot of these, too. And I will include the link to the video or to the article so you guys can watch the videos at your leisure when you are not watching the show. But let's see what this one is. According to Joy Pease claims on the radio show Coast to Coast, she photographed a bizarre triangular craft while on a moving train near Plymouth in New Hampshire. What's more, the sighting occurred in broad daylight on the afternoon of October 25th, 2003. Joy would claim that she was attempting to capture pictures of red deer she could see in the forests that line the train tracks. However, when she studied the photos later that day, she noticed the black triangular craft over the treetops. Since the object only appeared in one of the photographs, she deemed unlikely to have been a reflection from the window. And what's more, the camera had been checked and cleaned only hours earlier in preparation for the journey. It would appear whatever the object was, none of the other passengers reported seeing anything unusual. And the fact that Joy herself didn't see the object at the time has led some researchers to suggest it was simply not visible to the human eye. I'm telling you, they can hide. At least the one I saw could. They can definitely hide. So I got to rub my eyes. My eyes are getting burning. What do you think of that one, Nace?
Sorry, I can't say I'm doing things. Well, I can say I'm doing things, but I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing in the background. But I thought it was wonderful.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I mean, whatever you need to do. It's all fair here on the show. It's all fair. All right, here we are. Here we are with Whitley Strieber's account in 1957. Whitley Strieber account, abducted by aliens on a train journey. I did not know he was abducted by aliens while on a train. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. And after the story, I'll tell you my meeting of Whitley Strieber.
Oh, very good. Okay. Well, let me read this. Author Whitley Strieber is Strieber. How do you say it? Strieber, I guess, huh? Is no stranger to UFO and alien encounters, having released the book Communion in the mid-1980s, telling of his own abduction experiences. However, if we believe Strieber's claims, it would appear that his encounters with otherworldly entities have been happening since he was a child. One specific incident that is of interest to us here occurred at some point in 1957 during a train journey from Wisconsin to Texas with his sister and father. In a truly bizarre case, without realizing what had happened, all three of them went from being on a speeding train to being on some kind of strange vehicle. Both Strieber and his sister could hear their father screaming in terror somewhere nearby. In later years, using hypnotic regression, it was revealed that the incident was indeed a case of alien abduction, it also suggests that not only had Strieber's claim or seemingly been abducted repeatedly since he was young, but other members of his family had as well. Perhaps also of interest, Strieber had vague memories of soldiers in uniform being present during the encounter. Oh, weird. So was it sanctioned by the military? That's creepy. All right, the floor is yours, Naysay. Let's hear it.
1997 in Minneapolis during a convention of the paranormal. I can't remember what it used to be called. I don't know if you remember when they used to do that.
No.
But Whitley Strieber was a presenter. So I went there and listened to him because I enjoyed Christopher Walken. Great portrayal of communion. And I bought a book and went to go get it signed. And I roll up to him in my wheelchair. And I ask him, I'm like, what do you know about Gulf War illness? And there's this guy who's standing next to him, and I don't even notice him until all of a sudden he looks up at the guy, because he's sitting there and the guy is standing up to his, my right, his left. And he looks up to the guy, and the guy does a slight no nod, a shake. And then Whitley, he looked back at me. He's like, I don't really know much about it. I've heard about it. And right away, I'm like, wait a minute.
Hey, wait a minute. He's not telling you something.
Yeah. But I bought he's also a great author. He's written several fictions.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yep. And I think within his fictional books, he is releasing a little this, that, and the other thing between the lines.
Okay. Yeah, it could be. All right, UFO photographed from a train in Germany. As Harry Hoxler passed through the German town of Oberwessel on a train on the afternoon of March 8th, 1964, he suddenly noticed a disc descending into the sunlit sky. Realizing he had his camera with him, he pointed it toward the strange object and took a picture. The object appeared to be dark gray or black color and was similar in shape to a spinning top with a dark vortex underneath it. Many skeptics who have reviewed the picture have claimed the object is nothing more than a road sign or a lamppost that has been produced by brief exposure because of the speed of the moving train. However, those who believe that Hoxler managed to capture something truly strange argue that, unlike other cases where the object was not seen until later, Hoxler claims to have seen the apparent craft rise with his own eyes at the time. The picture, which is in this article, was soon released to the public and is still regarded as one of the most intriguing of such photographs. There's the picture. It's up on Pinterest. But yeah, it doesn't look like a road sign. Could it be a lamp? Maybe. I don't know. That's interesting. Very interesting. Because you got the pole going up right here on the right margin. And then this object, whatever it is, kind of dangling from the left. So I don't know what kind of lighting they have. But maybe it's mundane. Let's go to the next one. UFO witnessed from on board an L&N train near Mount Vernon. Says just before 7 a.m. on October 20th, 1973, a conductor and another crew member on an L&N train witnessed a very bright light heading toward them from the north as they passed near Mount Vernon, Indiana. A period of active UFO sightings in the state, I guess, was this period. It's kind of a weird sentence. They noticed that the light appeared to be some kind of...
Trouble.
No, it was craft, not trouble. Next word was not trouble. That's interesting. The ghost radar is very vocal tonight.
What is up with that? Hey, Kev Baker, you just saying hi?
Yeah, maybe it's Kev. Maybe it's Kev hanging out with us. Is this Kev Baker? If so, say something Kev-like. We'll have to see if something comes through that is Kev Bakery. But
shenanigans.
Yeah, shenanigans for sure. They noticed the light appeared to be some kind of craft, but unlike any other that they'd ever seen. As they continued to watch it, they noted how it seemed to pulsate, going from blindingly bright to far dimmer. After several moments, the glowing object changed direction and headed away from the locomotive. The conductors reported the sighting to the crew at the back of the train. Several moments later, they responded that there was now an unknown object at the back of the train, and it appeared to be following them. The unknown vehicle would follow the train for a considerable distance before eventually moving off as quickly as it had arrived. According to the research and investigative work of Francis Ridge, the U.S. Air Force have confiscated the train in order to study it. Their findings, however, are unknown. Number 2 is Senator Rich Russell sees disc-shaped object while traveling through Soviet Union. Of course, it's got to be some over there, right? Let's see what happened over in the Soviet Union while on a train journey in the Transcaucasia region of the Soviet
November.
Union. No, it was October, actually. I was just getting to the date. It was October. It said November. I don't know what's going on with the ghost radar tonight. Was November something really Kev like?
That I don't know.
I don't know either. I can't think of it.
But Nova meaning 9, the 9th ember. Trying to fish for something.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Don't know. A dot appearing on the radar now to my back right, but I don't see anything. Nothing I can see. Nope. Don't know. Just somebody hanging out. Still there. Hanging out in the room with me. That's cool. If that's right.
You better do a check here. Oh.
It said trick. It said trick. Trick.
I was just going to say I better ask and see if anybody's here with me. Anybody here? Okay.
No, it's
just checking.
It's weird. It's very vocal tonight. It's been really quiet for the last several shows. I haven't said a thing, but tonight it's saying all kinds of words. Give me a trick, Kev.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, it's a prestidigitation. Yeah. Yep. Well, I don't know. It's very curious. Trick. Huh. Could be Kev. That would make sense. We did have, however, dedicate tonight's show to him. So I hope he's here with us. That'd be awesome. And tricks should not have anything horrible in them, just for the record. Very, very weird. All right. Where's this going? Moving train from the center. So he watched in amazement as the disc sped across the tracks in front of the train. At this point, Russell stood and approached his companions to tell them what he'd just seen. As the group stared out the window, they noticed another disc-shaped object approaching the train from the same direction as the first. As the three men watched the bizarre incident unfold, a Soviet conductor approached them and pulled shut the curtains. He ordered them not to look out the window, which they duly obeyed. They would report the sighting to the United States Embassy as soon as they arrived in Prague, and news of the incident soon reached reporters in the United States. However, adding another layer of intrigue to the encounter, when Russell was asked about the sighting by a Los Angeles Examiner journalist, he responded that the agencies he had reported it to are of the opinion that it's not wise to publicize this matter at this time. The incident was eventually declassified in 1985. And then we're on number 1, the last of the stories from this article. Train passenger sees 6 disc-shaped objects over the Arizona desert. See, it just doesn't matter where you are. If they're UFOs, you're going to see them. More recently, in the summer of 2017, a train passenger traveling through Apache County in Arizona claimed to have seen 6 hovering 2-story objects beaming light to the ground below. According to the report submitted to MUFON, the witness was unable to sleep and so was looking out the window at the time. It was then she noticed a bright light that became brighter as the train approached. She soon realized there were multiple objects and that they were disc-shaped. She assumed that they were approximately 100 feet from the moving train. The witness managed to capture several pictures of the moving objects, three of which were submitted to MUFON with the report. The mother's son, who filed the report, stated that his mother was not one to exaggerate or seek attention, and that her claims should be treated as genuine. As we might imagine, there were many differing opinions on what the woman might have witnessed, and these ranged from a vehicle from another world to them being nothing more than Chinese lanterns. The sighting remains unexplained. Interesting. All right, well, that was the last one. I'm going to put the link, because there are videos for every one of these that you may want to watch in your own time, if you should so choose.
Dreyfus in the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Of course.
When he was at the... Wait, what? When he was... Wait, there's a train going through my...
There's a train going what? You broke up.
I think there was a train in my living room.
Maybe. I don't remember that part, though.
He was at the train tracks, and all of a sudden the UFO is when he burnt his face. He was looking at the map.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden the lights and everything started going crazy, and then the track crossing thing started shaking,
Yes.
and
Yep.
then he looks out the window and the bright light, and great movie.
That was a brilliant movie. You know, Spielberg has another one coming out now, too.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, he's got another one coming, so if you want to go for another ride, you can check it out. That will be a good one. I mean, I always liked his movies. I thought he's done an amazing job, but you can check him out for more, but the links are in the chats if you guys want to check out the videos that you can see are a part of every one of these numbered points, and you can see more, including, probably a little more narrative about what's going on in these different situations. So check it out. Visit ranker.com or listverse.com rather. This is listverse.com, and definitely visit it and support what they're doing. There's a lot of articles like this. This site is really, really cool. But it's already 8:16, they say. Do you believe that? Does that seem possible to you?
Time sure flies when you're having fun.
It does. Maybe it's great company. Maybe that's what it is, right?
I'll take it.
I'm just looking at I always look at the bottom of these listverse articles because they put some really good links. Some of them are really fun and interesting, and even a lot of UFO ones, but I can't look through them all. All right, we're going to get done with that, and I hope you guys enjoyed it all the same. I do have another one here. That's the one. I had 2 copies of the same article open. There we go. So we're going to get to another fun part of the show. Hopefully it's fun. I like this part. Close. I don't want to run ads. I don't know why YouTube always wants me to run ads on episodes. It's like, I don't want to run ads during an episode. I don't know. It already makes you do the ones, before an episode starts. So that's good enough for me. We are at 72 people are in the house. God bless you. I'm just looking to anybody new pop in. Looks like the same people are on Rumble. The whole crowd's still here. Good to have you guys here. Thank you so much for coming in. And I want to do shout outs for YouTube because you guys are awesome. And I do think it's good to, welcome you if you're going to take the time to come in. So if you want to shout out, please type something in the chat. That way I'll see it. So far we got 420, Man from the West, Adventures with Beth, Andrew Gnomes Trucking Express, Aussie Boss Tiger, Dead Fish Cheese Spread. Deb Varner's here. Good to see you all. Thank you so much. Eric Fry, Grandizer, John Temperin, Lisa Marie, Mary Wins, and Mopar Bill are all here. Thank you guys for being here as well. Somebody's popping in. I don't know who it is. I'll have to look at the chat. Rachel gets it right on Real Estate Brokers here, Wizard and Yeshua. Good to see you guys. All right, so who popped in? Karen Alberding popped in. Amanda's Crazy Life channel popped in. So good to have you guys here. Thank you, everybody. And that's just shout outs. That's who I can see. Let's see. wanted to see, what is your question? Grandizer said, I've asked your guest a question, but I'm looking for the question and I'm not seeing it. Where is it? Yeah, I mean, go ahead and ask your question again. Sorry, it doesn't look like I can see it wherever it was.
I can't see it either.
You and your blind humor. I love that about you. Oh, here it is.
Dark humor.
Grandizer in the chat is asking, Naysay, that you didn't really want to go down that rabbit hole, but you did and felt sucked in. How did you feel after? Glad you did, or disappointed, or other feelings?
Ooh, paranormal. Devil's Tower was one of my favorites. So much about that one. The one that really got me out of all of the cray was Paul McCartney is Really Dead. Oh. That one, 72 hours, non-stop. I got caught in that oubliette, and it was. I think it's true.
You think Paul
it's either great marketing. It's either great marketing, or he was replaced. I do think he was replaced, but that in itself is strangeness.
That is true. That one's kind of a bacon cooker. That one, I don't know what to think about. It's pretty crazy. Did we get a bunch more people? Mel Tony came in, or My Tony.
Oh, also Morgellons.
Morgellons? What are they?
I remember Morgellons, where the people were getting the ulcers, and within the ulcers, they would find these little silver threads.
Oh.
And under video, the threads were actually moving in some of the videos.
Oh, that's horrible. Yikes.
Yeah. That was around 2002, 2003. That rose into the public eye. Nanotechnology, the first utilization of it. My theory.
Oh yeah, maybe. You know, because they always say whatever we as civilians have, the military is at least 30 years more advanced than that, and I've heard up to 50. You know.
Oh yeah. When I was in the Navy, you know, the computers that we were working on were far more superior than when I got out of the Navy and went into computer programming.
Oh.
And I was upset. I got into it with my instructors because the computers were worse than what I used in the Navy. And then they're all like, "These are the best out." And I'm like, well, I'm sorry to argue, but what I had in the military was far more advanced.
Yeah, I'm sure when you're in a room on the high oceans in multi-billion-dollar watercraft, I'm sure you had some pretty scary, smart computers cooking.
Yeah, they didn't look pretty. You know, they weren't about, you know, how it looked or anything, but it did what it was supposed to. And we didn't even have outboard. You know, we were in the Radio Shack, and outboard had even far more secured stuff than we had.
Mm. What does outboard mean?
We called them the spooks. Outboard, they actually had a Marine to go into their little workstation. Mm-hmm. You had to go through 2 doors. And after the first door was a Marine, fully armored and weaponized. And you had to, it was hush hush.
I'll bet it was. Wow. That is crazy. All right. Well, hey, you never know. There's no question that they're working with a whole different level of technology than we are. Let's go back here and let's put the chat back. So I see a bunch more people came in, and I'm sorry I didn't catch all of the names as they arrived, but hello to all of you. I appreciate you being here. All right, so we're going to get to another segment. Naysay, this one's probably not going to be as fun for you because it's very visual. And no offense, but it's certainly not your strong suit right now. But you can listen to the first one. This one is, and all of them will have at least some audio. Either the clip itself will have audio, or I will tell you what it's showing. But
well, I'm not like these young whippersnappers. I still have an imagination.
You were good thing you were Generation X. That's the only thing. That's what saved you. Not all these electronics, all your life. But you are Generation X, aren't you? You Gen X?
I'll take it.
Are you millennial?
X marks the spot.
That's right. I mean, we didn't have computers really, not much. And if you had them, you'd be looking at 8 bits of fun. That's it. But
my junior year of high school is when we got the computer lab.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was probably about the same time. I think mine was junior.
It's 83.
Junior high. When did you graduate? What year?
85.
Oh, you're 2 years older than me then. Yeah. Yeah, you're Gen Xer for sure.
Okay.
Yep, you're definitely Gen X. So that means you're the kind of kid that grew up outside. You come in.
I refuse to be labeled.
Well, I'm labeling you anyway.
Okay.
All right, so here's the deal. This new segment is called This.
What the hell is that?
That's what it's called. What the hell is that? This is where we showcase some form of evidence. Sometimes it's picture, sometimes it's little video clips. This first one is a cool one. This was posted by Matt Knapp of Bigfoot Crossroads podcast. And Matt's a great guy. He does a great job. So please support his podcast. He's really, really doing an incredible job over here. But he posted this, and this is a Yurok tribal elder, Mrs. Mitchell, talks about her Sasquatch beliefs. Now, this video looks like it's probably around somewhere in the 70s, early 70s. So it's dated quite a bit, but it's neat to hear her talk about how she grew up hearing about Sasquatch. And I think it's a really cool one. This one really won't be one you'll vote on. For those of you that are familiar with the topic of this segment, but it's still interesting. So let's check out this. Here we go with a Yurok tribal member, Mrs. Mitchell.
Well, I know that there is a Bigfoot because I've heard about him all my life since I was a little bit of a girl. I've heard my parents and different ones talk about him. They have a name for him, Lekitlega. That's what they call him. And I always say I'm not scared of him because to me, in the way I think, he's just another person. I'm not a bit scared of Bigfoot. I can go out anywhere alone on the mountains here. I'm never scared because I've heard about him all my life.
And there you go. Kind of a neat little clip. It's just a historical archive piece of information. I'm sure her discussion was much more profound than just that little clip, but you can sure check out online and find out more of what she discussed about this. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Did you, Naysay, since you're part of the Anishinaabe tribe, what did you grow up hearing? Anything at all about Bigfoot?
Absolutely, and enjoyed it. The stories that I heard were more of the friendly type, of where lost children would be brought back to villages.
Oh,
and
really?
That there was a symbiotic relationship with the Anishinaabe people and Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to remember the Anishinaabe word, and forgive me. Agwaji. Oh no, those are the spirit creatures.
Okay.
I'll try to think of it. I remember, but yeah. But there's also some of these stories though that if you mess with them in a negative aspect, they're gonna give you a little pushback.
Yeah, no doubt. What kind of stories did you hear about them, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what did the tribe attribute to these creatures? Some First Nations have called them the great ventriloquist. They said they have very powerful medicine. They are, obviously very powerful beings. But in what context? Because I know some tribes in North America used them as a cautionary tale, like the Pacific Northwest tribes. A lot of them had called the Sasquatch Zunukwa. And she would come down the mountains with a woven basket on her back and would act very much like a Krampus. Like if kids were out after dark or misbehaving, Zunukwa would come get them and take them away and never to be seen again. Did you hear stories like that?
Actually, the story that I heard like that was if your child was misbehaving and after several warnings that they didn't behave, there was Dibwe. Oh my God! Now you're testing me. But so what it was, somebody on the village would create a false leg that would look hideous, and so they would warn the child that if he doesn't behave, this creature is going to come and take them away. And if it kept going on, all of a sudden, at nighttime, you would start hearing ominous sounds and everything, where the uncle that had this leg would start coming to the dwelling and making noises. And the parents would be like, we told you if you didn't behave, now what are we going to do? And the child would be like, no, I'm sorry. And the parent would make a big theater of it and be like, listen, he said he'll behave. And then they'll have like the leg show it's coming into the wigwam. And then it would pull back and it'd be like, look, you're lucky. And,
So you were tormented, essentially.
Oh, well, I mean, if you think about it, the psychological implications of the boogeyman is a great learning tool.
Yes, I do agree. Very, very leveraged in terms of helping to parent children.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there are monsters. There are entities out there that aren't positive.
Yeah.
And in that negativity, like the Wendigo, which I'm sure you've discussed several times.
Sure. Yep.
So once you go down that path of negativity, if you continue on it, then you can more or less become a Wendigo.
Yeah, the Wendigo is a really curious, horrible thing. The whole starvation demon or whatever, and the need to feed. Yinadlushi, yeah, not good. All right, to me, they are like other people, but they are for sure different than us as well. They do too many things that are considered paranormal / supernatural to be natural exactly like us, not currently. That was from Unreal Estate Broker. Very cool. Appreciate those insights. Thank you so much. Yep, I tell you, whatever they are. Let's go to the next one on the list here that I've got. This one is, oh, Jesus. All right, this is a series of photos somebody took from their yard. It's coming from Mysterious Creatures on Facebook. And this one, you'll have to be the judge, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it appears to show a trackway around this house. There's just a dusting of snow. It's maybe a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch of snow, but there are very distinct footprints going around this house in what looks like it looks like maybe like a country neighborhood, but there are houses nearby and stuff. But it's like these big stride of feet, very straight. I mean, they're not side by side like a normal person wearing boots, but the stride length between the feet stepping down is amazing. It looks like it's really quite pronounced, like several feet in between one footprint and the next. And it does approximate the shape of a foot. So could it be? Maybe it could be. I don't have any background information on it in this slide. But anyway, we'll look through this first, and then we'll get to letting you guys vote. Let you guys vote, see what you think. Here it is. This is the first shot. Here's the second shot. A little closer up. The only thing that I would say, and as maybe a little bit of a cautionary part, we don't know how old the snow is. We know there's not much of it. But one thing about footprints in the snow is that there's 3 of them in here. If there's a footprint in the snow and it warms up, that footprint will expand as the snow melts. and geometrically, like it goes out from every direction, however much is melted that day during the sun. So what we're looking at might not be the actual size of the prints when they were printed, but I don't know. Just important to consider. We don't know a date. We don't know how long they were taken after this snow happened and left this little dusting of snow. So there's lots of questions. Here's the next one. This is a measurement. It looks like about 16-inch prints, though. They do look like they're pretty robust 16-inch prints. We'll go to the next one because there was a tape measure by the one. This one, and you can clearly see, here's the heel on the right, and then going over to the left, you get what looks like toe splay on the other end of the print. So it's not like a confused print, but there you go. These are the images in question. What do you guys think? Time to vote. What do you think? Is this the real thing? Could we be looking at an actual trackway that surprisingly seems to have taken place in a more residential setting? So time to vote. Let's see what you got. Got a couple here. Rachel gets it right, 0.5. Kitty Caddywhack, 0.5. Anybody else so far? 0.5 from Eric Fry. And that looks like what we got so far. I see some more coming in. 0.25 from Karen. Alberting, highly unlikely. Dead fish cheese spread says. Yeah, it might not be. Again, there's a lot of questions here. And what do we got? Eric Fry, 0.5. Adventures with Beth, 0.5. 8.89 by Pixie Ranger. 0.5 Wizard Moon. 1 from D Oceans. Yep, we have them here. Yeah. Aussie Boss Tiger, 0.25 rather. And Yeshua, 0.5. Barbara Moore has given it a 0.5. Car Juice, 0.75. Most of the way there. Big D, 0.5. And Justin Goodearth, 0.5. Yeah, it's tough to say. Now, I will say that if it was just somebody wearing shoes, just like tennis shoes or whatever, and it was, the steps are really far apart, but I was thinking, what if someone's running around that house? If they're running, then your strides are going to be much further apart than if it's just a walk. So this could be a running trail of footsteps, and in which case could still be within the human range, and the size of the prints could be due to melting of the snow, but certainly a lot to consider. Just kind of curious what you guys thought. So good takes. I like all your takes. I think that's good. Barbara Moore, 0.75. Okay, very good. All right. There's a lot of questions, but we'll go through them again. That's about a 16.5 foot print or inch print. Then there's the print itself. I mean, it does look pretty Squatch-like. But, again, you be the judge. I don't need you to believe any of this. If you choose to, you can. If you don't like it, lay it down there. Let us know what you think. That's it. That one was, again, from Mysterious Creatures page on Facebook. Got a cough. There we go. I've now coughed. Let's go to the next one. This one is also from Facebook. And, oh, wow. Okay. This one's coming from Ghosts of London. It's coming from the photo was taken at the Blackpool Waxworks in the 2000s. There's an inexplicable face in the window. I'll zoom in and show you guys when we get to the point of looking at the picture. Over the subject's left shoulder as he poses outside the fake frontage of Coronation Street's famous pub. What are your thoughts? Well, here you go. Here's the image in question. And this is the face in question. Now, I don't know. BJ, what is this? Oh, that's something else. And that's something else. I'm getting chats here. Let me just zoom this in so you can get a good look at it. That's as big as I can make it. Somebody was saying that the face is being projected. I don't remember what it was. It says on a TV inside the pub, old Corey clips showing the pub through the years. So somebody is saying there's a TV inside the pub, and it could be the frame of a TV when you look at that. It sure could be. Like this is a close up of the guy's face during a talk about the area. I don't know. It's anybody's guess, but what do you guys think? Time to vote. Let me know. Or have you voted? Did you guys vote? Nope, you didn't vote yet. Okay, give me a vote. Is this a ghostly face? Give me a 1 in the chat if you think it's real. If you don't think this is a ghostly face, it's some other false positive. Give me a 0 or give me a decimal point if you're somewhere in the middle, like maybe half and half, 0.5. Most of the way there, but not quite, 0.75. Not really digging it, but maybe 0.25, whatever. Let's see what you guys said. There's lots of votes rolling in. Looks a bit like King Di. I don't know what that means, but maybe you're right. Adventures with Beth, nope. The Ocean, nope. 0.5 from Aussie Tiger. Abbott and Costello. I don't know. 0.5 from Owl. 0.5 from Eric Fry. 0.1 from Pixie Ranger. Just a little bit of faith in that being really something. 0.5 from Rachel. 0.01 from Dead Fish Cheese Spread. Not really buying this one. Fair enough. Could just be something glamorizing the era and projected. Is that a 0.5 on real estate agent? Or on real estate broker? Is that a 0.5? Because it's either 0 or 1, but whole numbers aside, let me know. 0 from Wizard Moon, my first video game, 0. Kitty Caddywhack, 0.2. Yeshua, 0.5, halfway. Babe Ruth. Yeah, it might be. Could be. I'm not a real expert on Babe Ruth, but yeah, it kind of approximates his face. Amanda's Crazy Life Channel, a 0. What else we got? -1 from Grandizer. This one actually owes us some truth. As does 0.5 real estate, unreal estate. Okay, 0.5. Gotcha. Hey, Brent. Oh, Brent. Instead of hey, bada. Yeah. Yep. Swing and bada. All right. Looks like an anomaly. Brent, didn't Babe Ruth drink a good bit? Yeah, I'm sure he did. Probably everybody did back then. I don't know. Car Juice over on Rumble says, not really into this. 0.25. 0.5 from Justin Goodearth. Barbara Moore has given it a big 0. So that's the 3 votes there. No Big D or Dog Digger at all. So that's what we got. All right. Fair enough. That's a good take. Let's continue because there's more. There is more. Let me close this one. This one's kind of cool as far as ghost photos are concerned. This one's actually a pretty famous picture. You may have already seen it before. This was at a Fleet Air Arm Station in England. And the woman's name is Miss Sayer. And she and her friends were touring the base when they saw a retired military helicopter on display. As a joke, they decided to take a photo of her sitting in the pilot's seat. Let me close these chats. Okay, so sitting in the pilot's seat. At the time the picture was taken, Miss Sayer was certain she was alone in the cockpit. No one else climbed inside. No one leaned into the frame. When the photo was developed, a second figure appeared in the seat beside her. The image shows what looks like a man wearing a white shirt, seated exactly where a co-pilot would sit. Miss Sayer later said that while sitting in the helicopter, she felt an intense cold, despite the fact that it was the most hot summer day. Even stranger, other photos taken immediately before and after this one failed to develop properly. The helicopter had previously been used during the Falklands War, but records do not confirm whether a pilot actually died in that specific aircraft. So the question remains, if no one was sitting next to her that day, then who's flying with her anyway? Interesting. Let's check it out. Here is the image in question. Here she is, doing that promo shot of her sitting in the pilot's seat. But who's this? And it really does look like a figure. Got the collar of the shirt here, open like in a V, like a button-up shirt kind of thing. Looks like short cropped hair, ear, face kind of looking down. I don't know. Who is sitting there? Who happened to pop into that moment, ladies and gentlemen? That's the $1 million question. But what do you think? Is it potentially a spirit photobombing her? Or is this just some weird reflective pareidolia off the window, which is still present? So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let me hear your ideas. Barbara Moore is all in on this one, gives it a 1. Over on the Rumble. I can try to blow it up a little bit more for you guys here.
It makes me wonder about ghosts on airplanes.
Okay, sure. Yeah, why not?
Have you heard? Because it is a airplane haunted.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I believe it can be. Do you think that normally ghosts are anchored to a place?
Well, that's where I was pondering.
Yeah.
That if it was anchored to a plane or an object, and then in the whole thing of a plane doing supersonic speed, and a ghost like going, "Slow down,"
Yeah, maybe. It's hard to say, but yeah. So the question's coming up. Where's the pilot or the ghostly image? Well, it's right here. He's just sitting right there, and this is the head. I'm circling it with the mouse. Here's the shoulders, both sides of the shoulders, and looks like maybe his arms are crossed on the chest, but like he'd be looking down like this. So don't know if there was any historical bookmark, so to speak, to make this relevant. Like, did somebody die during a mission in this helicopter? And we don't know. There's a lot of questions still. But that's the ghost over here on the other side. Should be just another black seat like the one she's sitting in right here, which should be empty according to her. Nobody else is there, but yet there was. So interesting take all the same. All right, well, let me read out the votes that we got, and we'll take a look here. All right, it was the Falkland War, yeah. So Karen Alberding, 0.5. D Oceans, nope, not buying it. Grandizer, can't really see it. Can't see if he looks military dressed. No, it looks like kind of like a CIA guy, with the old white button-up shirt kind of thing. Adventures with Beth, 0.5. God, it looks like George Burns, 0.75. Fair enough, Eric. 0, Pareidolia from Aussie Boss Tiger. Yeah, it could be. Rachel gets it right, 0.5. Looks like a double of her, 0.5, Kitty Caddywhack. Where is it? It's, I think, over in England is what we said. Yeah, it's over in England. John Attitude gives it 1. 0 from Wizard Moon, 0.5 from Yeshua. Pixie Ranger, 0. 0 from Grandizer, 1 from BJ Lapierre. And, yep, that looks like 0.5 from Vince. So there we go. And Justin Goodearth, good, but could just be another occupant as far as we know. Yeah, I mean, all we have is her word that she's in there alone. We don't know nobody's in here, but she swears she was alone. Again, that's the claim that's always been attached to this photo. I've seen it many times through the years, and it's not AI. It predates AI, but interesting stuff. Carjuice gives this one a 1. Big D gives it a 1.75. Justin Goodearth, and 1 from Barbara Mora. So, yeah, I think there could be something to this one, guys. I really do. But there you have it. That is that one, and that's where I think we're going to end this, because we got to get to some Cryptid Corner. Been going a little light on the Cryptid Corner lately, and so, by God, we're going to pick it up. Are you ready, Naysay?
Bring it on.
You know I will. You know what time it is. You know what time it is, Naysay.
Oh, yeah, it's that time.
It's that time.
Cryptid Corner.
It is. Absolutely it is, and I should be in the right place. Let's get her done, folks. Here we are. We're diving into another location. This location is in the dark, forbidden places as we explore the Cryptid Corner. pretty severe howl there, huh? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cryptid Corner. We're going to start exploring the Cryptid Corner by visiting our very own good friend and show contributor. I almost said contributor or something. I don't know what I almost said. It was weird. This is Sasquatch Chronicles blog from February 13th today. It's coming from the NAH. Why do I have this? Oh, the NAH, Modern Explorers. Okay. North American Hominid. From the hominid? Okay, well, that's what NAH apparently stands for. All right, from February 13th, listener writes, for years, I approached Sasquatch as external phenomena. Something out there to be tracked, observed, and documented. But something changed. I began noticing a pattern that was harder to ignore than any footprints or vocalization. The encounter seemed to correlate with something internal, my emotional state, my fears, my intentions, even the intentions of the people that I was guiding. When I was actively confronting what Sasquatch represented to me, the encounters intensified. When I faced that fear directly, they stop. Unless I was guiding someone else who was searching, confronting something within themselves. It raises a question why most people don't want to ask. What if the observer doesn't just witness the phenomena, but interacts with it? Is Sasquatch purely biological, physiological, or psychological, interdimensional, or something that exists at the intersection between consciousness and environmental? This short reflection explores the strange synchronicities between emotional state and field encounters and what might suggest about the nature of reality itself. And there's a video on this one, so I'm going to give you guys a link to this one as well. And I hope you go check it out. Go visit the blog and check it out. You can explore those conversational topics with the video. I don't pretend to know. I wish I knew, because there does seem to be aspects of the Bigfoot that seem like they're way out of the realm of physicality. But I've not had those experiences firsthand. I can't really speak to them, but I do believe people that have told me they have. So, you be the judge. And we'll get to the next one. Excuse me. Little gurgle. Little water gurgle there. Let's go to the next one. This one is also the blog from February 11th. And this is an upcoming guest on one of Wes's shows. I think maybe it came out already, but watch for it. In any case, it's going to be chased out of our campsite by 3 or 4 creatures. That sounds like a hell of a story. Wow. A listener writes, on August 17th, 2023, I was camping with a close friend in Stevens State Forest in south central Iowa. Not far from the Missouri border, it is very remote for the Midwest in that area. There are no electrical lines in this particular forest, so no lights. My friend and I got into the forest at dusk and just set up camp. We saw no vehicles as we drove through the forest, and the campsite we stayed at was completely empty. 20 minutes or so after setting up camp, we heard an incredibly loud sound to the northwest corner of the camp. It was so loud it made both of us jump, and all of my hair immediately stood on end. The sound was like a howler monkey whooping, but it sounded like it was the size of a human. Immediately after this, about 150 feet south of us in the tree line, another noise happened. It sounded like Babe Ruth was in the forest slamming a bat against trees. There were 6 whacks or knocks, and they came in 3 succession of 2. Knock, 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 knock. And that night we got chased out of the campsite by 3 or 4 of these creatures. It kept me out of the woods for a very long time. I'd love to tell you the whole experience. Wow. That'll be a great episode. Oof. That'll be a good one, so keep watching Sasquatch Chronicles, the blog. and watch for the new episodes. You can go to the episodes right here and catch the newest episodes. In fact, let me do that. Let me just see. What is his newest episode? Playing the Playground at Night. Series of events for members, my hunting property members, hominid hunters. So yeah, I mean, there's a good listing of a bunch of episodes you guys can check out if you should so desire. All right, I think I can do one more, and that's going to be about it for the night. Not this one, though. That's still big. What are we doing here? That's big. Man, I should have. Upcoming guest, current concerns from February 6th. So this person is probably a live episode right now. A listener writes, I recently moved to a new property with my girlfriend to help care for my grandfather as he gets older. And I've started noticing some strange activity around the property. I'm mainly looking for insight into what this could be. It began with an odd sixth sense feeling like I was being watched. I work a swing shift, so I get home late, and I'd often feel uneasy when pulling into the driveway. At first, I just brushed it off as nerves from being in a new place. Then the noises started. The first incident happened while I was at work. My girlfriend called me shaken, saying that something was walking outside the house and breathing heavily. Well, I told her it was probably just a buck looking for a doe, since it was mating season, which seemed reasonable at the time. Not long after one weekend night, we were both woken by the chattering sounds coming from two different locations. We just lay there and frozen in bed, listening. Another example while tapping the side of the house, which I was able to record. What finally pushed me to write this was the frequent sight of distant red eye shine. I can never clearly make out what it is and whether it's a cougar or something else that worries me more. I'm just hoping for some insight into what it might be going on. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Wow. Well, there you go. So there's lots to check out. Keep checking out the blog, though. There's always new stories every day. Wes does an incredible job. So please support what he's doing, every one of you. Yeah, I love these stories. I love these listener email stories. And I'm so thrilled that Wes posts them for us because they're a good time. What do you think of those, Naysay?
I think it was fantastic, and I'm sitting here pondering about the fight between Sasquatch and a ghost.
Oh, okay. What'd you come up with?
Well, the ghost is definitely going to be, some nefarious fighting and little ectoplasm to the eye, temporarily blinding the Sasquatch. So I think, if it's a fair fight, depending who the referee may be, but I don't know. It'll be interesting nonetheless. Yeah. I'm sure that the Sasquatch has that supernatural ability to grab the sheet of the ghost and uncover them.
Probably coil it up and snap them in the ass or something, So
locker room fun.
Absolutely. It's entertained generations. That one has. But.
Speaking of fun, Brent, yeah? I had a delight this night, being frightfully aware because I care to dare be in the Paranormal Portal.
Yes, you do, and you're always welcome here, brother. Yeah, and someone in chat pointed it out too. I don't remember who it was, but they said, "Hey, it was Aussie Tiger over in Oz." He said, "Hey, there's a Friday the 13th next month too."
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again. Excuse me.
And I'm sorry if I derailed your regular routine.
I have no routine, brother. I like the dialogue. I like to talk and I like to share ideas. And of course, I love you. I've known you for years, so it's always a pleasure to have you here.
I was trying to ponder that. I think you've been going on for about 9 years now.
The entire show started in 2016, so this is going on the 10th year now.
10th year.
Yeah, this is the 10th year. Yeah, of the Paranormal Portal. Now, the podcast started in 2019, so it was 3 years after the normal show started. But yeah.
So you need to have like a super show, like a 3 or 4 hour show. I think the chat would love that to happen. The 10th anniversary.
10th anniversary of the Paranormal Portal.
If you need me, I'll be there. You know that.
I will count on it then. Yeah, I'll make you carry some of the weight. So you'll have to put together some things to make the marathon fun.
Yeah, I did get a new wheelchair that has a 500-pound weight limit. So I don't know if you're a thick woman. I'm just kidding.
Grandizer asked, what platform did the Paranormal Portal start on? It started in April of 2016 on a platform called Truth Frequency Radio. It was an internet radio station that I broadcast on. It was also carried on some around, but yeah, we broadcast there in 2016, and it was 2017 that I started my YouTube channel and started simulcast streaming at the end of, I think it was August of 2017 I started. Maybe it was 2018 when I started simulcasting.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was your second or third show that I joined you on.
Yes.
Yeah, on the
you were
network, because you were like, oh my God, the time I'm speaking too fast.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I needed help, and it was good that you were there. Several other people joined from the chat, and you guys helped get me into a comfortable spot, because I thought I had it nailed, and then once that on-air sign came, I was just like panic reading, and my mouth went dry, and I blew through 3 hours of material in like 20 minutes. So it was.
And now look at you. You're a grown boy.
I went and grew up. I grew into it, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty funny. But
and
yeah,
it's been a pleasure and a privilege to witness your growth, and I'm so excited that it has developed into what it is. You got this great voice, and I know that the people in the chat appreciate and love you dearly, as I do also.
Well, thank you, brother, and thanks for being a part of my journey for all these years. And let people know how to stay in touch with you.
Oh, I put it in the chat. You can find me on X, Twitter.
Yeah.
Hi, hilarious, Naysay. Because I've been doing open mic comedy again.
Oh, good.
And so I've been trying to see if I'm funny or not. Sometimes I am, not a lot.
Well,
but yeah, you can find me there, or you can find me wherever I may be rolling, because I don't know. But I'm excited. This summer I got a new job.
Oh.
I'm going to be modeling for the handicap parking spots.
Nice. So when we look down, it's your silhouette we'll see.
Yes, they're trying to decide which is my better side.
Well, hell, now I can say I know somebody famous. Thank you. All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for us. Make sure you go over and check out Dave Scott, Spaced Out Radio, starting now over on his channel. It's actually been on for 2 minutes already. We're kind of a little bit late, but just want you to know I'll be back tomorrow night for another fun-filled romp into the Paranormal Portal. So I hope you'll join me then. Yeah, Grandizer Naysay is a vet. He's a Navy vet. And the reason, I don't know if you heard it, but he brought up Gulf War illness, and that's what he was exposed to, and that's why he's not able to see and is currently in a wheelchair. But the indomitable Naysay will not be put down by anything.
Actually, I refuse to stand for anything or look at anything seriously.
Absolutely.
Love you. Happy Lupinalia. Valentine's Day.
Yeah, you too, buddy. And good night to all of you guys. I'll be back tomorrow to roll through Valentine's with you. Will you be my Valentine? Well, I'll find out tomorrow. If you're not there, I'll know that you refused. All right. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. Until next time, take care of yourselves.
Doodles.
Roll the credits.